All right, so in this video, we're going to create a graph of the results in Excel. This should feel pretty similar to what we did for the paired samples t-test. So you're just going to be getting some more practice making these pretty Excel graphs for your results. So we're going to have Excel open, and you are going to enter the mean and the standard error on the Love for Christ question for both groups. You can find this information on number 10 and 13 of the output. So if you're looking at your output, this is what I'm talking about, right? Number 10 and 13. So if you were in Jamovi, you could go ahead and copy and paste this table into Excel and then just delete the columns you don't need. All we need is the mean and the standard error. So you could do that, or I mean, it might be just as fast to literally just type that information in by hand. Either way is fine, but you need the mean and the standard error for the U and the average student group. Okay. Back to the instructions. First thing you're going to do is highlight columns A and B. These are your first columns. And you are going to click on Insert, Recommended Charts, and you'll see it automatically picks clustered column. Okay. Oh, this is weird. Okay, maybe it would be better to, there we go. Okay, so the mistake that I made was I highlighted all of column 1 and column 2. Didn't like that. What I should have done is to highlight just those cells, not the whole column. Let's see, I think that's going to work better. There we go. See, it doesn't have all of that space underneath it. Leave it a clustered column. Okay, now we have our basic graph that just shows the mean rating for the U and the average student group. The first thing that we're going to do is change the y-axis range, because the y variable was measured on a scale from 0 to 10. You want the y-axis to be from 0 to 10. Okay, so interestingly, this actually picked this up correctly, which it doesn't always do. Yours may not automatically set the axis from 0 to 10. It may have some memory of me doing this before, which is why it's picking this up. If yours doesn't automatically spit out a 0 to 10 range, then you can click on the Chart Elements editor and go to Axes, okay, primary vertical, and then you can right click, okay, on the axis. So you're right clicking on the axis, go to Format Axis, and you can set the minimum and maximum from 0 to 10, which mine already did, so that's nice, but you might have to change yours. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is to create a title for the y-axis. So we want to have some information about what this axis means, and that is one of the really nice things about Excel, is that you can give titles to things like the y-axis and titles that you want, titles that make sense. So we are following these instructions here. So if we kind of hover, Chart Elements, and we're going to go to Axis Title and Primary Vertical, and it will put this title for us. And let's make it something like Rating on Love for Christ. And then you can center it, make it look pretty. There we go. And now we are going to, actually, I forgot up here. We're going to delete the default chart title. Sorry, we should have gone and done that. And kind of remember, where we put the chart title in is actually like in the body of our results write-up. We don't typically in APA style put the results title in the body of the chart in Excel. You know, if you were doing this for a presentation, absolutely, you could edit this title to make it what you want. But for what we're doing, which is going to be an APA style write-up of results, we're just going to delete this title, as we're going to have the title, remember, in the body of our results write-up. All right, we deleted the title. Sorry, I'm kind of going back and forth on these steps here. We changed the y-axis range. We created a title for the y-axis. Now we're here. Now we're going to create bars that show the confidence intervals, which, as I explained before, it's just something that's commonly done to show the kind of spread of the distributions for each group. All right, I actually just noticed here that we have lost these labels. We've lost the label for you, an average student. And I believe I did that accidentally. So let's put them back on here. We go to chart elements, we go to axes, and I think yes. So see how it's kind of easy to click off and on these things. So when I was clicking the vertical axis, I accidentally clicked off the primary horizontal. And if I click it again, then you can see that my labels, you and average student, pop up again, which is what I want. All right, so now we're ready to do the error bars. So we're going to follow the instructions here. Click on chart elements, error bars. We're clicking on the arrow here, and then more options. If we look at all the way down this menu, go to the custom. Okay, we're going to specify value. For the positive error value, we're clicking on this up arrow. Now it's going to collapse, and we're going to highlight the standard error for both groups. I'm highlighting that, and then you can click on, now it's a down arrow, so click there. We're going to do the exact same thing for the negative error value. Clicking on the arrow, highlighting the standard error bars, clicking on the down arrow, and OK. Okay, there are our error bars. And you see these a lot in journal articles, tables, or figures like this. So once you have this figure created, what you want to do is copy and paste it into a Word document, as I've done here. All right, so I've just copied and pasted this figure that I've created into my document, and we are going to give it the title, figure 1, and then a more descriptive title, right? So we add the title of figure 1, and then 2 lines below, the descriptive title. And so, like I said, this can be actually kind of tricky to develop a title that tells the reader exactly what the results show. So what I did for this one, and it's not the only possible title, that would be good, but it is one that is okay. And I called it Mean Ratings on Love for Christ for Groups Who Answered for Self and the Average Redeemer Student, right? And so again, so notice that like the title has to tell the reader what the groups are, okay? And so that's what you have to do in making the title of a figure. And here's what the completed chart would look like. And in the next video where we put it all together, we'll see that we're going to just paste this into the APA write-up of the results.